What is going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives, Make Money Online Training Podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to go successful online business. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing how much should you charge, and I'm joined by my business partner and my boy, Cole DeSilva. What's up, Cole?
What's going on, fam? I'm excited for today's subject. I usually say that all the time. Okay, it's one of my main things that I like saying when I come on to
you better be excited
because I love it. Like, I'm always excited when I come on here, and today is going to be a special subject because this is something me and Brian are very passionate about.
Before we get into today's episode, guys, I just want to say, thank you for your ears. We have over 300 episodes up on the podcast app right now. For the last 3 months consecutively, we've hit over 20,000 downloads a month. The average podcast gets between 2,000 to 3,000 downloads a month. So I'm incredibly grateful that you guys are continuing to listen to every single episode. And some of you guys binge watch all of them and binge listen to them multiple times. So I just want to say, if you're here, just give yourself a pat on the back for being a fucking awesome human. Thank you for listening.
I love it.
If you guys are getting value from the podcast, one way that you guys can support is go to the podcast app. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you got to use your fingers and literally go to below episode 1. You can leave me a star rating on the podcast app and write a review. If you do that, I'll shout you out on the podcast and give you a personal hello. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how much you should charge in your online coaching business. And Cole and I are, in the spirit of full transparency, are going to tell you why we're having this conversation about how much you should charge. Because frankly, Cole and I are from Calgary, Alberta. And in Calgary, Alberta, there's a bunch of people that have been in the fitness scene, for X amount of years, and they think that they can set the tone for how much everyone should be charging. And we actually got a DM. I wasn't the one that got the DM, Cole did, about how we can justify charging $350 a month. So I'm going to let you go into that, Cole.
100%. And like, I do want to say this DM was a little bit on the nicer side. It was more of a confusion DM rather than a angry, like undertone DM, which we have received multiple times in the past, like hundreds. Me and Brian have received these. So I want to state that right now, but I basically just received a DM about people kind of confused on how we justify teaching our clients to charge $200 to $400 to whatever a month for their actual programs. And then we got into an actual conversation just about them kind of asking questions. Why would we be able to do that? How are we justifying that? How can we go about that based off of certifications, qualifications, blah, 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 blah. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard in the past. And that's kind of what drove us to do this podcast today, because Brian said it the nice way. Again, we are from Calgary, Alberta, and there's a lot of people there who don't just like try to set the tone, but they look down on other coaches trying to charge what they are worth because they are not. And I feel like there's just a big miscommunication on what you should be charging on a monthly, daily, weekly basis.
Yeah, so let's just be fully transparent here for a second, all right? So if you were to hire an in-person trainer, let's just say it's on the low end for 3 sessions a week, for 3 hours a week. If you were to hire an in-person trainer, it would cost you $250 a week on the lowest end. That's like the lowest.
On a week.
Yeah, per week. That's going to cost you about $1,000 a month. And that $1,000 a month isn't going to get you weekly check-ins, isn't going to get you extra coaching and support outside of that 1 hour time frame. And so if you're ever struggling on your off time and you ever need somebody to talk to, it's not like you can DM your personal trainer at the gym and be like, hey brother, I'm really struggling. He's like, cool, I'll see you at your next fucking session. And you're paying $1,000 a month for that. So before we even get into the podcast episode, let's talk about that on the low end. But Good Life Fitness will sell you personal training packages, and they'll sell sessions out for like $100 an hour. And so you'll be paying, like, if you want to buy a session package from Good Life Fitness, you'll be paying like $3,000, $5,000. I've seen session packages as high as $9,000. So let's have that conversation first.
All right, let's get the fuck into this. All right, let's deep dive into it right away. All right, I'm excited for this one because I kind of got the go ahead to kind of open up a little bit more than I usually do on here.
Go in, bro. Go in.
Get ready. All right, I'm actually going to break this down for you guys to make you kind of understand where the fuck we're coming from for a second. All right, a lot of you guys need to understand that it comes down to personal preference on what you value your fucking time at. All right, straight up. And you need to keep that in mind. All right, a lot of you guys say, a lot of people out there say, I should put that out there, that charging $250 plus a month for an online fitness coaching program is too much. But then you got to take into account what Brian just said. A lot of you are the same coaches that are either in the gym or used to work at a gym, and you were charging 60 to 100 plus an hour for an in-person training session. You didn't offer any nutrition advice. You didn't offer any outside accountability. You didn't have any mindset training, stress training, anything like that. You didn't have any fucking community aspect for these people. You were just charging 100 or 60 to 100 plus an hour for an in-person training session, which I want to say is 100% fine. I don't want to start this off by saying that is 100% fine. That is what gyms charge. But I'm a little confused on how these same coaches who charge $100 an hour for just training look down on other people who charge $250 a month when they offer 10 times the amount of fucking value as an in-person coach does.
Now I'm jumping in. This is why, right? This is why. Because those same people that are charging $100 an hour at the gym are stuck working, for an employer. And the employer has these packages that this person has to sell. And so this person's only making a percentage of that income, which automatically makes them sour. And then they see this is where people are getting pissed, right? This is where the confusion is. I think that some online coaches on the internet right now think that just because they have nutrition certifications and 7 years of experience training and they've done 10 fitness competitions, that they're entitled to people's money, right?
Tell them again.
So I think that there's some people on the internet right now that have done a few fitness competitions. Maybe they've even won fitness competitions. They have training and nutrition certificates like out the wazoo. So they think that they're entitled to everyone's money. They think that they're entitled to all the clients, right? And they're like, I'm the best because I've done X, Y, Z. And so I'm entitled to all this stuff. And because of their entitlement, they never actually sit down and maybe study a marketing course, or maybe study how to market and sell themselves properly, right? And so they don't know how to market and sell themselves. So they price themselves. I'm going to go right at it. They're going to price themselves at the price that people will purchase over the DMs. So if they're trying to sell, let's say they send out their little PDF over the DMs, right? It's like, my training and nutrition packages are $500 for 12 weeks, blah, blah, blah. And if people start saying no to that price, they're like, oh, my prices are too high. So they'll drop their price in their little PDF and they'll keep sending that out. And once people start saying yes, they're like, oh, I got a great price. Like, those are the coaching package prices. But the reason people aren't purchasing your shit isn't because you don't have a training and nutrition. Like, it's not because you're not more qualified. It's because you don't know how to market and sell yourself. And you don't know, know how to have a conversation with a human that goes beyond training and nutrition. I also just think I'm gonna go straight at this, you guys. If you're an online coach and you're focusing only on training and nutrition, you're a bad online coach.
Yup. Say it again.
If you're an online coach and you're focusing only on training and nutrition, you're a bad online coach. And there's a lot of online coaches that get their training and nutrition certificates and they do all these fitness competitions. And they're like, okay, I'm just going to do these training and nutrition programs and that's it. Guys, if people wanted a training and nutrition program, they could literally go to Google, type in workout program, download a PDF, and they don't need to hire your ass. The reason people hire an online coach is because they need somebody to coach them. I've personally worked with a lot of these people that are, quote unquote experts that are entitled to everyone's money, and you pay them and then you send them a weekly check-in form once a week. And if you don't send your check-in form, they don't communicate with you. Right? It's like, that's like, if you don't check in with them, it's like, you're just a blip on the radar, because they're so focused on training and nutrition that they don't understand that people are paying you for coaching. Like, training and nutrition are one thing. Coaching is another skill set altogether. And a lot of these people are missing coaching. And so the reason there's all this clout in the market right now is because there's trainers that have been in the game for 10 years selling their programs over DM. And then maybe they're making $3,000 to $7,000 a month, think that they're doing well. And then there's a brand new online coach that comes into the market with a little bit of training and nutrition experience, and they start fucking crushing and their business hits 10K a month. And then this trainer that's been in the market for 7 years doing fitness competitions gets all sour because he sees new online coach emerging, just fucking crushing. He's like, they don't deserve it. And so, and now they'll start talking down to them. How do you justify blah, 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 instead of looking at themselves and being like, yo, maybe I need to fix my shit.
100%. And this is something that a lot of fucking coaches are probably going to listen to and get pissed off about. Because again, me and Brian are going all in on you. All right? It's time to listen the fuck up. All right? I'm going to break down some numbers for you guys. just so you have a little bit of an idea of what the fuck you're saying. A lot of coaches out there, all right, the ones that Brian just spoke about, the ones that are sitting here with 10 plus experience, getting outworked by someone who's been in the game for fucking 2.5 weeks, all right, butthurt, pissed off, are saying that $250 is too much to charge someone online for a fitness coaching program. All right, let's break down the numbers. $250 for a month is $8.30 a day. Okay, how much time are you actually putting into your fucking clients? Is it 1 hour a day? Okay, if it's 1 hour, you're only getting paid $8.30 an hour. That's less than any other fucking workplace out there, period. Are you joking? McDonald's pays more than that. Minimum wage is $15 a fucking hour. Use your head for a second. Like, why do you not value yourself? There's a lot of these coaches who look down on people charging $250 and they're charging $50 to $100 a month maximum. Okay, let's break down that number for a second. If you're charging $50 a month, you're only paying yourself $1.60 a day. Okay, what if you put 1 hour of work in? Okay, you're making $1.60 for that hour. What if you put 5 hours in one day for your clients? You're making less than $1 an hour. Are you like, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Do you guys value your time or do you not? It's very fucking simple here. All right. When it comes down to this, when it comes down to looking at how much you're charging a month, if you are charging less than the average person, if you're charging $50 to $100 a month, honestly, it tells me one of two things. Number one, either you have no fucking clue what you're doing and you're horrible at marketing yourself, or you just don't value your own time on a subconscious level.
Boom.
And I want that to sink in.
Yo, stop there. If you're charging $50 to $100 a month, you don't value your own time, right? As like, if you're charging $50 to $100 a month as like your higher ticket coaching service, and that tells me that you don't value your time as much, which also tells me that you're probably not going to, like, it's going to tell your clients that you don't value the program as much, because if you valued your time and you valued your program, it would be priced accordingly. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Like it tells me that like you don't value yourself and your time, which is going to subconsciously communicate that to your clients. How many of you guys have ever purchased like a program or whatever online? It was like $50 to $100 and you never actually did the program because you were lightly interested in it, but you only like paid a little bit of money up for it because you don't really give a shit. But then all of a sudden you invest. For me, if I invest $500 to $1,000 on something, like I'm fucking doing that thing.
I'm going in. 100%.
Like, because I invested in that thing. I'm like, I'm now that like financially committed. Guys, people pay attention to what they pay for. So if people aren't willing to pay, like if people aren't paying for your service, they're not going to be paying that close of attention. But I want to seriously destroy this mentality that charging $250 to $400 a month is too much. Like, that's like fucking bananas. Like, that's the market average. If you're listening to this right now, you should be charging $250 to $400 a month for your online coaching packages, period. That's the PT Domination standard, period. There are some of our coaches that are more experienced that are charging more than that. So like there's some coaches like, you know, people that have been in the game for 5, 6, 7 years that are charging more than that. And there's some brand new online coaches that just come into the space that are like, they feel like they want to start at like $150 to $200 a month. That's cool. $250 to $400 a month is the absolute, like the benchmark for what you should be charging. That's like the baseline. If you're charging less than that, you're underselling yourself. And it doesn't matter what any other online coaches in the market are saying right now, because if like there's another online coach that's like, that's too much, I'm going to assume that that person's probably broke or struggling for clients. Or they're one of those online coaches that I talked about at the start of the episode, one of the ones that's done a bunch of fitness competitions, got their training and nutrition, and they think they're hot shit, but they haven't studied marketing and sales, and they're just sour that other people are ahead of the game, and they're just like more advanced than they are at a couple of things. It's just like,
preach.
I don't know what you guys want. Guys, $250 to $400 a month is the absolute benchmark for what you should be charging for your online coaching services, if you're for your higher ticket coaching packages. And like, if you're not charging $250 to $400 a month, it's going to be extremely difficult to make a full-time living off of this. And if it's difficult to make a full-time living off of this, that means you're going to have another job while serving your online clients. And if you have to have another job while serving your online clients, that means that you're not actually going to be a good coach for your online clients, because you're going to be working 8 hours a day for somebody else, and then your clients get whatever energy is left of you. So if you're not selling a $250 to $400 a month program, then not only are you underselling yourself, but you're actually cheating your clients too, because you have to pay, like you have to go to job to pay for your bills. So you're only giving your clients the energy that you have left after you work your 9 to 5.
Yep. 100%. Yo, like this is something that me and Brian have always been very passionate about. It's something that we've never really understood when it came to people pricing out their programs. All right. Because if I was to tell you, go in the gym and train Tyler for $1.50 for this hour, you would straight up tell me to go fuck myself. So why are you doing it on a daily basis? Value your fucking time, guys. Helping someone transform their life has value. All right. You're helping someone transform their life through health. You're helping someone get their body back, their mind back, maybe walking somebody off the edge, helping them have their confidence so they can be a better partner to their spouse, be better at their job, whatever the case may be. Helping someone transform their life through fitness has value. All right. And I just want to say this too, because there's been times where me and Brian have seen someone, okay, somebody who's been in the game forever, who's absolutely slaying it, who charges more than $400 a month. And even us are like, yo, maybe that's a little high, but that's our perspective. Yeah. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. It's your personal perspective on what people are charging. Who gives a fuck? Charge whatever you want. It's your business. Okay? It's your guys' value. It's your guys' time. It's your business. All right? Value your time because it's worth something. Stop devaluing your time and your service.
Yeah. And guys, here's one thing I really, really, really need you to understand. All right? There's training, there's nutrition, and then there's coaching.
Yeah, big difference.
So training and nutrition, right? It's the funny part about it is this, like people always like, there's like a cheesy quote that's going to fit in perfectly here. It's like, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. It's almost like you need experience to get good, but in order to get good, you need to get experience. So for these new online coaches that are coming into the market, a lot of them are afraid to like, put themselves at $250 to $400 a month because they're like, oh, I don't have the experience. But the only way you get the experience is by working with the people. Right?
Exactly.
And so the online coaches that have been in the game for like 6-7 years that are shitting on all these new online coaches that are joining the market, it's like the reason these online coaches are joining the market is because they want to get more experience and they want to work with more clients, right? So guys, like if you're a new online coach, like I don't want you to get discouraged because you're like, oh, I only just got my training certificate, or I only just got my nutrition certificate. Guys, at one point, I only just got my training certificate too. Right. And you don't like, I wasn't great when I started, but I had to start to become great. Like I needed to start somewhere. And so training and nutrition, like, yes, you need to be actively working on those things and trying to level up your skills in those things. But if you're listening to this right now and maybe you're like a level 10 in your nutrition and you're a level 9 in your training, but your coaching is level 3, like that's why you're fucking struggling, because you're focusing on getting more nutrition knowledge and getting more training knowledge and doing more shows so that more people see how jacked you are and how good you look. And that's super cool. But if you're not a good coach and you're not a good human and you don't care about your clients and you're not supporting them on their goals and not just like follow the meal plan. It's like, if they're not following the meal plan, maybe there's something that they're struggling with. Maybe there's a community that you could build for them. Maybe there's some sort of like accountability system that you could create to make sure that they follow the program and get better results. But if you're not up-leveling your coaching skills alongside of training and nutrition, your business is going to struggle, right? So that's your actual coaching package. So let's put that on the table and move that off to the left for a minute, right? So that's coaching. Now let's talk. So that's coaching as a whole. Now you've got coaching, you've got selling, and you've got marketing. Those are like, that's like, now let's zoom out and go to the macro level. Most online coaches are only ever focused on their training and nutrition in the coaching realm. And then they're trying to attract clients by just focusing on that. But you've also got sales and you've got marketing. And for those of you guys that think that you shouldn't, like, it's sleazy to market and sell yourself, like, you're running a fucking business.
Pause. For those of you who think it's sleazy to have sales and market yourself, have fun being the bottom barrel fucking coaches of the industry. Period. Okay? I want to literally say this like it's clear as I can. Because what Brian touched on when he said a lot of the older coaches shitting on these newer coaches coming into the industry because they're charging too much with less experience. Okay, everything started with no experience back in the day. Every single one of you. I give insane props to all these new coaches who are smart enough to grow a business while trying to get better at coaching.
Yes.
Like, yo, I'm sorry. This might fucking hurt, but if you didn't try to grow a business while getting better at coaching, it just shows me you ain't that type of fucking entrepreneur. You should probably stay in the goddamn gym training people one-on-one for the rest of your life. Period. Like, you don't have that type of mindset because these new coaches understand the value in building their business while becoming a better coach. All right. And that's the whole fucking point here. You 100%. Need to have all levels. It's not just about having the coaching service and being amazing here. You got to learn
which it is
sales.
About that.
Yeah. You got to learn sales. Okay. You got to fucking learn how to bring people in your program so you can transform their life.
Because just because somebody sends you a DM on Instagram saying that they're interested in your coaching services doesn't mean they're going to purchase off of a fucking PDF.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Just because somebody sends you a DM saying like, hey, Cole, I'm kind of interested in losing weight. Great. Here's the link in my bio. I've got all my coaching prices listed. Like, that's why you're struggling.
How many times have you guys gone on Google and looked up the price of some sort of service, looked at it and been like, yo, fuck that. That's way too much. And just left the page. I've done it probably a billion times.
So it's not just, you can't just be focused on the training and nutrition. That's such a small, narrow-minded way of looking at the online coaching realm. It's like, it's so much bigger than that. It's training, it's nutrition, and it's coaching. And that's one, like, that's a bubble on its own. Then you've got another bubble that involves selling. And if you don't like selling, then like, what did you do when you went to the gym? You had to buy a membership, didn't you? Right? Like, you had to buy a gym membership, right? There was a person that sold you a gym membership. Did you not like them either? When you went to buy a car, what did you have to do? You had to talk to a salesman, right? Like, it's just like every business that you walk into. When you went in to buy your new iPhone 12, guess what? You talk to a salesperson. Every business is you're selling, or you're either selling your prospect or they're selling you on why they don't want to do it. So you've got the sales system. But a lot of you guys might even be struggling to attract clients and you don't have anyone to sell or coach because your marketing's broken. And then you get all mad that these new online coaches are like posting all the time and blah, 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 blah. They're marketing all the time. It's like, that's a system all on its own. So you need to get good at that. And then once you get good at marketing, you're getting people that will be interested in your service and they'll reach out to you. And then once they reach out to you, you need to get good at converting that interest into clients. And then once you've got those clients, you got to make sure that you change their life. And that's how you run a coaching business.
Yep.
How much should you charge for that service? $250 to $400 a month.
Boom. Period.
Like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth on my coach?
You should start at $250 and then gradually work your way up. $400, $250 to $400 is the fucking average, people. Listen to that. If you're charging less, you are below fucking average right now. If you're charging more, you're above average, period. We have 600 clients. And
by the way, I actually did a head count. I need to update my bio. It says we've worked with 700. We've worked with 700 10K Academy students this year so far, and we've worked with over 900 students. So I need to update my bio. I did a head count recently.
Boom. So over 900 students are charging between $250 to $400 a month, if not above that. So if you're under that, you're now under 900 other people.
Guys, and this is a movement. I don't think you guys understand. Like, what we're doing here is we are creating online coaches that are changing people's fucking lives. That's what we're doing. And so this movement is only going to grow. So if you're not riding the wave right now and you're not learning how to market and sell yourself, our online coaches are going to come into the market and they're going to crush because we're focused on marketing and we're focused on sales, and we're not going to crush on purpose. Like, our intention isn't to like tear everybody else's house down, but because we're marketing and selling and we're doing a good job of it and we're changing people's lives, they're not going to need to go to another coach to get a PDF for $900 or $99. Sorry, not $900.
Things are changing. You got to get on the fucking bandwagon. All right. Guess what? Letters got out of style too, and it became email, and now it's texting and calling. Like, get on the big bandwagon or get left behind.
Guys, and this is like, the online coaching scene is not going anywhere. There's a lot of people that are like, but like, what about all these new apps that are coming out? There's nothing that's going to be able to replace a human connection.
Nope.
A human checking in on you being like, hey, Jasmine, how's your day going? Like, there's no robot that can create a chat script that's going to be good enough to replace a human interaction. So online coaching is not going anywhere because guess what? More people are looking to their phones now. There's more people on TikTok. Everyone's at home. Like there's like online coaching is the wave. And if you're undercharging and you're selling prices over PDF right now, like, or you're selling prices over email, you're doing any of these outdated sales systems and you're wondering why you're struggling and you're getting mad at other online coaches because they're marketing and selling, it's like, you got to catch the wave.
You got to fix your fucking mindset.
That's it. Bro, that's it.
That's straight up. I feel like there's not a lot more we can say here. If you don't understand the words that are coming out of our mouth right now, listen to this 12 more fucking times and hopefully you will. Maybe meditate while you're listening to this or something like that, because I'm straight up.
I don't think this would be very relaxing if you listen to this while you meditate. I think me and Cole went off a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, if you are not like letting this really sink into your minds, you guys are just messing up. And we want to help you. This is the reason why we're breaking this down right now, is because we've seen a lot of coaches try to go the below average route.
And we don't want that.
Fail.
Like, we want to serve. And like, we also just want like new online coaches coming into the market to know what the industry standard is. Like the industry standard is $250 to $400 a month. I know some business coaches that teach people to sell $1,500 packages right up front. I actually don't fuck with that. I think that's a little bit too expensive. I think it's more than fair for $250 to $400 a month for an online coaching service, especially when you're not only are you checking in with them once a week, but you're making sure that they're just sticking to their workouts every single day. You're like, there's like daily communication. You've got a Facebook community where you're keeping them all active and engaged. Like you've got systems to make sure that they're like following the program and the meal plan and the training plan, et cetera. Like the amount of value that I teach my coaches how to give is worth $250 to $400, a lot more than that. Because when somebody goes through a 12-week transformation program and they were actually able to lose 30 pounds, because not only did you give them a training and nutrition plan, but you coached them through their struggles when they had them and you were there for them when they needed you, like that is fucking priceless. You're changing somebody's life. So yes.
For $8.30 a fucking day.
For $8.30 a day. People spend that at Subway when they go there for lunch.
Yep. And guys, that's a day. So if you are giving a custom training program, custom nutrition advice, daily check-ins, you're having conversation with your clients about their mindsets, you're putting more than like 5 hours in your clients each day, which honestly isn't that fucking hard. All right. I know I do for the PT domination community at least 5 hours a fucking day. Like there's a lot that goes into it. That's insanely low. Okay. Like I want you to think about it like that. Cause we say the number is 250. We say the number is 400. Break it down by day. How much do you value your fucking time and how much time are you putting in for your clients?
That's it. That's all. We hope you guys have the best day of your entire life. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to go successful online business. If you got value from today's episode, go ahead and leave a rating on the podcast. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the podcast. Leave your boy a star rating, leave a written review, and I will give you a shout out on the podcast. That is it. That is all. Cole, where do they find you, bro?
You guys can check me out on Instagram or TikTok at Cole Lewis Da Silva, or you can check me out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify for the Wake Up the Wolf podcast.
Cool. Peace. Love. Talk to you guys in the next episode.